Hey guys, my name's Philip. I work at the Media Center, which is located on the first floor of the Open Library. When you come in the Fine Arts entrance, the Internet Cafe will be on your right. You can just take a left, go under the stairs, through some double doors, and that's where our office is. What we're going to go over today is the professor's got y'all working on a video project, and we're just going to talk about some of the equipment that we have at the Media Center. And how you use that equipment to work on your project, and some of the checkout policies, and how to use the programs that we have available. There are some other programs that you can use. Obviously, the Macs, all of them come with iMovie, which is similar to this program, and you can accomplish pretty much the same results. If any of y'all are planning on using a Mac or planning on using your own computer with your own video software, then we might be able to help you out with some of the issues, but this will be the format that we'll be supporting in a way that will be showing y'all how to work on this. One of the first things is the equipment that we have available. The two pieces of equipment that you'll be using for this will be obviously the camera, and then the laptops that we check out here. With the equipment checkout, we check out our equipment on a 24-hour basis. So depending on what time you check it out, that's going to determine when it's due the next day. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to plan out your project. Make sure that you got enough time to record what you need to record, and make sure that you'll be able to return it by the due time, because there are late fees, and they can get pretty expensive. So that'll be the first step in trying to plan out your project. These are the flip cameras, and they're pretty simple to operate. It's got a power button right here. You can just turn it on, and then it's got a little red button. You can hit record, and it'll start recording. Whenever you hit the red button again, that stops recording, and it'll create, however many times you do that, it'll create a new file for each one of those videos that you're working on. And so you want to record what you need to record, and then it's got a little button right here where it'll flip out, and you can plug it into the camera, and then we'll go over how to do that. One of the main things, as with pretty much any kind of project, when you're getting ready to decide what you're going to record, whether or not it's interviews or if you're going to record two people talking, it's a Gothic film, right?
It's either a documentary style where you're presenting information, interviewing people, and presenting what Gothic is with the end of the term after it's done, or a creative short that demonstrates Gothic.
Okay, and this should work fine for either one of those. It's got a little bit of a zoom on it, where you can zoom in and zoom out. And then also we check out tripods, where if you want to do an interview, or if you want to be sitting at a desk with somebody, or if you want to be holding it up in front of their face. The microphone on there is pretty decent. It's kind of a consumer grade microphone. You just want to keep in mind that if you're outside, you might pick up a car passing by, or a dog barking, or whatever. So that's one of the main things. Another thing that's usually helpful, a lot of people find it's helpful if they will draw what's called a storyboard, or what did you say they call it?
I would stick with the storyboard right now.
Yeah.
I am in touch with California and Hollywood, and lately they're into something called a lookbook, but that is more complicated with all kinds of settings, pictures of settings. We want you to get this, what you're doing in each scene down first, so maybe a whole bunch of boxes on a sheet of paper, and so who's talking in each box? Where are you? What are you accomplishing in each scene? In what order are you going to do this? So having that planned on paper, that helps first before you get to the actual filming. Right?
And so the storyboard would look something like this, and it usually helps just where you get an idea of what you want to do, so that you're not just there with the camera and kind of hoping that you record something that looks decent, where you just kind of plan out, first you decide however long you want your video to be. Are they 3 to 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Depending on how many people are participating in it.
Right. And this will help out to make sure that you don't get too much footage, or make sure that you don't go out there and think that you have everything recorded, and then you get to start editing, and maybe you've only got, 2 minutes worth of footage when you really needed 4 or 1 to 4. And so you go through it and have your title screen and say that you're going to have that up for 1 to 5 seconds. And then so you say, your first scene, the first thing that you want to record will be these 2 people talking. And then you can either estimate how long they're going to talk or look at your footage and figure out how long that'll be. And then you'll plan out your next shot and about how long you want that to last. And so that'll really help alleviate a lot of problems before you get started, to where you have an idea of where you're going with your video and what you want to portray. So you go out and shoot your footage, and then you can either check out a laptop from the media center, you can bring the camera into media services and work in there, or if you've got your own equipment, you can work on that. That would be fine also. We would recommend working from a jump drive, because with video projects, it's a little bit different than like a PowerPoint or a Word document. When you import all your videos and everything into this program, you still need the original video files, because the program has to reference those files. Whereas with like a PowerPoint, you can just copy paste an image in there, and you don't need the original image saved anywhere. With video files, you need any music that you're going to insert, any of the videos that you use, and any images. You'll need to have those all in one central place and fairly organized, so that you have an idea of where they are, and that's going to be important to make sure that you don't lose your word. So your first
the music scene 1, right?
Right.
Image scene 1, dialogue scene 1. So like organize it how the way it makes best sense to you.
And once you get everything recorded, like I said, it just pops out. It'll plug in pretty much. It'll definitely should work on your personal computer, and then it'll work at the computers in the media center or the computers that we check out. What I'm going to do first is I've got this Movie Maker project. That's the program I'll be using. It's called Windows Live Movie Maker, and it is available. They've got it on the Microsoft website for a free download. So if you've got your own laptop, as long as it's a fairly new laptop and fairly fast, it's got enough RAM, then you should be able to download it, and it should work well on your computer. And I think we have a link available on our website, and I'll send you some of that information, so that if you want to try downloading it, that way you don't have to worry about checking out the laptops from us and you can work at your place. But it is available for a free download, and it doesn't require a whole lot of power on your laptop to run. I'm going to show you, this is the program, Windows Movie Maker, and if you look, it looks kind of similar to other Microsoft projects. It's got the home tab up there, animation, visual effects, project, all that stuff. And the program is designed to be user-friendly, so hopefully everyone will be able to kind of play with it and figure out what they need to do. First, I'm going to show you over there to the right, what's called a timeline, and that's where you build your project. And this is just a short little video showing you what a media center looks like, and that'll kind of give you
digital for, special effects, background music, freemusic.com.
Freeplaymusic.com.
Freeplaymusic.com.
And we also, I think, have a link to that on our website, but I can email that to you if you want to see it out. And that site, I'll pull it up after we get done with all this, but that site will let you go on there, and then it's got like, jazz music or, country music, or just generic music. It doesn't have any words, and that's usually probably a good thing with stuff like this where you don't want the words detracting from the message of the video. But again, you'll need to make sure from that website, it's got the option where you actually save the file into your folder. And then likewise, if you've got a computer on your laptop, or if you've got music on your laptop, like of a song that you think might be good or might go well with your video, you can insert that in there. Just keep in mind that at the Media Center, we have to be conscious of copyright issues, so we can't help you rip any music off of the CD or anything like that. But it is, if it's something that you want to work on, then that's certainly a possibility. I'm going to close this out and reopen and show you kind of where from scratch you would start working on your project. The first thing you want to do before you open the program is when you have your camera plugged in and you got your jump drive, you got to move all the files from the camera onto your jump drive, because obviously you're going to have to return your camera and you're not going to have the video files on there anymore. And like I said, you need to keep it all in one place. So it's a fairly simple process, but just to make sure so that everybody understands. You would go in and open up your jump drive, and then I've got a folder here labeled Video Project. And then you would go in, go to My Computer, and the jump drive, if you look over here to the left, the flip video, it pops up just like a jump drive will on your computer. So you can just double click on that. It's going to bring up, it's got all these other folders down here. The main one you need to worry about is the DCIM folder, and that's the one that will have all your videos in there. It might create two folders here, and you can just go in and look at either one. Whichever one has your videos. You can kind of bring that up to medium icons, and it'll show you kind of a preview of what the video looks like. And so those are the ones that I need. So I'm just going to highlight all of them. And then drag them into my jump drive folder. And then, so that way you've got them on your jump drive. When you turn the camera, you're still going to have your files. This will take a second to drag over. Next, you want to open up the program, Windows Movie Maker. You just go to the Start menu. These laptops have Windows 7 on them. Obviously your laptop might have a different operating system, but it should work similar. And we've got set up right there. You can just open up Windows Movie Maker. And so now when it comes up, when you don't have a project created, this is what it's going to look like. And like I said, it's pretty user friendly to where when you're getting ready to start your project, you'll have an idea of how it's going to look when it's blank. You can either go to the Add Videos and Photos up here. Click here to browse for videos and photos. You click on that, it'll bring up this window, and then you just locate them on your computer. I'm going to go to my jump drive and Video Project. And so in here, you can see where it's giving me any files that it can import. They're showing up here. So like desktop design, that's just a JPEG file or an image file. These are all video files right here, and then that's the image file. For now, I'm gonna import all of these, and you can either import them as you go, or you can import them all at once and then move them around once you get them in there. So you'll just hit open. It's gonna bring them all in. It might take a second to process these, and that's something to keep in mind after you import them. If you're worried about your videos aren't showing up or anything, it'll tell you that it's preparing them to be played back on the computer. And sometimes that'll take a second, especially like if you've got like a 5-minute video, or Um, while this is loading, since she wants you to load it up on YouTube, you do have to have a YouTube account in order to post videos up there. And I think the standard account will let you post 10 minutes or less, which should be fine for the project y'all are working on. So just keep that in mind. And YouTube is pretty straightforward on uploading videos, and we'll go over a few of the different options on how you can upload it there. If you have any problems once you've created your project, you got it saved, but you can't get it uploaded, bring it to the media center.
YouTube can handle a lot more than some other places, and that's why it can compress material better, even longer things. So that's why I'm thinking YouTube. Also, if you want, you can show your friends when it's up in YouTube. So the different components would be like what form you want your credits in, right? The title page, the coloring background that you should be looking at or discussing, right? What kind of design you want. What else? I'm trying to think. Oh, transitions.
Right.
Yeah. How you go from one scene to another.
Okay, they're done loading. So at this point, over here on the timeline, you can see where you can just use the mouse, and it'll go through and show you where wherever that black line is, that's showing you what video will be playing at that point in the video. So you can look down here, and we've got a total of 1 minute, right at 1 minute's worth of footage in there, when you include the image. So first thing you'll probably want to do, like she said, is create the titles. And we'll go over how to do that. When you go to when you're at the home tab, right here you've got the three options. It'll say add title, and it'll say add caption, and then it'll say add credits. And those are fairly similar, but they've got a few differences that you want to be aware of. When you click on Add Title, if you watch over here, right there on the timeline, when you click on that, wherever that black line is, it's going to insert a blank slide and then a title that you can edit and type in. And so I'm just going to type in. And you can type in whatever you need, and it's got, kind of like Microsoft Word or PowerPoint, where you can go in and you can make the font bigger or smaller. You should have, let's see, edit text. Right here, you can go in and change the color. Different colors that you need. So just whatever works best for you. The next option that it gives you is to add a caption. And so if you click on that, it lets you put the text on top of the video. And so if you've got, like, maybe if you're trying to do subtitles for your project, or if you had, if you're interviewing somebody and you want to put it on there, then you can type in, the person's name. And
Dracula speaks in Romanian.
Yeah. When it inserts the titles, it'll default to, I think it'll leave it up for about 5 seconds. And if you look, when you click on the title, up here it'll tell you start time and then text duration. So 7 seconds. So let's say you want it to go longer or shorter. You can just change that. Just type in 5 instead of 7. And if you look, it kind of shortens it a little bit. And then also if you put it somewhere and you decide that you want to move it, then you can just scoot the text over and just kind of drag and drop it. And that's kind of similar to how everything else works in this program. It's pretty straightforward to where if you need to move something, you just kind of drag it. If you mess something up, just go to edit and undo, and it'll take you back to where you were. So anything that you do, you can undo it. So just be aware of that and kind of go in there and play around. At this point, you can go in and decide which videos you want. So this video right here, that was just when I was testing the camera, so I'm just going to hit delete. Or you have to right click and say remove, and it will remove the video from there. So this brings it to that first little shot, and then go over here, and you still want that. And you just stick, like if I wanted to move this behind that next video, you can just drag and drop it over there, and it'll switch the videos around. So it's, it's kind of similar to just having a film in front of you and scoot around wherever you need it. Some of the other options, next thing that you want to work on might be the transitions. So you just click on animations, and wherever you have the black bar, you just click on the different animations, and it'll show you kind of what it would look like. If you like it, you can leave it. If you don't like it, you can go over here, scroll down this menu, and it's got some more options, and some of them are a little more intricate. And it's really just a matter of how you, what you want it to look like. And like I said, if you put something on there and don't like it, just undo it. And again, the transitions have a duration. If you want it to maybe fade faster or fade shorter or whatever, change the duration, you should be good to go. And there's also this pan and zoom. This would probably be more useful for images. Like if we go down here, and let's say you had an image, you wanted it to start in the bottom corner and move up, then you can click on that, and it'll just kind of move up, kind of like a kind of similar to like a documentary where they're showing pictures of people's family or something like that. And then you can have it apply to all, or you probably wouldn't want to do that. Next thing, the visual effects. Let's go up to you can change the color tones. You can make it black and white if that's something that you're looking to do. And it's got different shades of, like I said, beta tones and things like that. Also, you might notice if it plays back a little slow, don't worry about that. It's just the computer kind of processing it. When you save it, it's not going to play jumpy like that. It'll play like this is just kind of a preview of what it's going to look like. So that's not how it's going to show up on the final product. When you go over here to project, you probably don't need to worry about that use. View would just be like if you want to zoom in or zoom out on the timeline. The edit function over here, this will be useful. Let's say if you had if you had a scene that you liked, or one of the clips that you recorded that you liked, but maybe for this one, when it starts out, the camera was pointing at the floor. And if I wanted to take that off, I would get it to where I want the video to start. So if I wanted the video to start right there, and I want to take out everything before that, there's two ways you can do it. You can do the split tool or the trim tool. The split tool, when you click on it, if you watch, it's going to separate those two videos into two separate videos, to where now I have the part that was before and the part that's after it. And I can just right click on that, say remove, and now when I play the video through, it'll just start where we put it. Does that make sense? Okay. Next thing you might want to do, if you listen, like for example with this video, I just had music over it, so I didn't need any of the audio that was recorded when I was doing it. And if you listen right there, it's got some clanking around when I open the door. You can just double click on it, go over here to video volume, and either hit mute or turn it all the way down. And that way when it plays through, you don't have any of that excess noise or anything like that. And likewise, I think it's already set to full volume, so if you've got a video that wasn't loud enough, you might need to go re-record it. We can try and boost the audio in the media center, but if it's a low quality recording, then there might not be much we can do. So that's just another function, making sure that when you record it, that there wasn't a lot of background noise or anything like that. Speed, I don't know if everyone wants to slow stuff down or speed stuff up. It usually works decent. You're not going to be able to slow down, a car going about 60 miles But if it's something where you might want to give like an effect of like somebody walking into a room and they're going slow, or you know, if you want to speed something up for like a time lapse type thing, just play with it, and if it looks good, you can go with it. But that's another one of the options that you have. We'll go back to the home tab, and like I said, if you have to insert photos, make sure they're in that folder on your jump drive first before you insert them, or else if you go to a computer where that photo is not saved, it's gonna say that it can't find what you need. If you need to take a photo from a video that you've done, like if you want it to freeze frame or something like that, and you click on Snapshot, it'll create a snapshot of that and then ask you where you want to save it. And you just put it in your jump drive and then add the photo from there. And that'll be an option that you have. One other option, and y'all probably won't be using this since y'all are going to be trying to do kind of like a customized video, but it does have these default templates where, or default themes is what they call it, an auto movie theme, where if you just click on that, it'll say music hasn't been added. We'll ignore that for now. I'll show you how to do the music in a little bit. But it'll create a default theme and just kind of go in and give you these little titles and stuff like that. And you can use just that title and take everything else off. But it'll go through and add, add its own transitions and stuff like that. That's much more if you're trying to get something done quick. You wouldn't really want to do that for y'all's project because you want kind of a customized look to your video. For adding music, again, you just stay at the home tab. If you look up here and you don't see what you're looking for, just try some of these other tabs. You'll see obviously the options change up there. For adding music, just make sure it's in your folder first before you add it, and then you can go there. And these are just the default songs that come with Windows 7. But like I said, if you got other stuff on your computer or from freeplaymusic.com, you can insert that. If you've got a file that isn't imported for some reason, if it's not in the right format, bring it in the media center, and we can try converting it. But again, we can't do anything that's copyrighted. So you go to add music. It'll just pop it in and see where it shows up at the top. And wherever that title shows up, that means there's going to be music playing at that point in your video. Does anybody have any questions so far?
When you were talking about the video volume, when you click on it, double click on it, it only affects that one video?
Yeah, you just do that one video. So if you wanted to do it to all of them, you have to, I don't think you can highlight, let's try. Yeah, I don't think you can highlight all of them and do it all at once. So yeah, you have to do it for each one. Yeah.
We're talking about like with like adding subtitles or something. It like stays on the entire video. Is there a way to just make it like?
Yeah. When it, like for example, right here, let's say if we want. Okay, so let's say if we wanted to. So if we wanted a title right there, we go to add the middle one, which would be add caption, and it'll put it in there. Well, this one it did it a lot shorter, but when you click on it, it'll say text duration. And for that one, for some reason, it only did 0.81 seconds, but you can change that to 5 seconds, or if you want to make it longer, 10 seconds. And you'll see how now it so it's staying on that video for longer, and if you make it shorter.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any more questions? Okay.
How do you change the volume of different sounds going on at the same time? Because I know from previous experience, you'll have music and it's loud and you can't hear what's being said in the conversation, and you wanted a little bit less, or like emphasize the conversation more, the background music less?
Yeah, what you can do at that point, if you want the music to fade in and fade out, that's probably going to be a little bit tricky, but I think you can do it. If you make a split, like right now we have the music selected, and so up here you can control the music volume, fade in, fade out, and then you got the split option. So let's say we wanted to play through on the intro, and we wanted to play that, and then we wanted to fade out, and we'll have like a voiceover or something like that over here. So we'll make a split right there, and then you could have it. On this section, we'll click on that, and so now these two are separate. Does that make sense? And so we can go to music volume and just have it, we'll say fade in. We'll say medium and see how that looks. And we'll go to music volume and have it come like this, about in the middle. And so if you listen, let's make sure. We might want to have it fade out a little bit slower. Maybe put the fade on the end of this one. You see how it got kind of a little bit quieter at that point? It might be kind of choppy with Windows Movie Maker if you do have something where you mess with it and it still doesn't sound quite the way you want it. If you bring it in, as long as you know specifically where you want it cut and how you want it to cut it, we can put in some different software, and that'd be kind of a little bit more specialized. But if you got a problem with an audio file, then we can work with that and import it into the Movie Maker project. Does that make sense? Any other questions? Okay. Once you get to the end of your project, as you're going, you want to keep going and save the Movie Maker project. And the way you would do that is just go to File, Save Project As. And again, you want to put that in your folder on your jump drive. We'll just save it as my movie, or you can give it a different name or something like that. So be sure to save as you go in case you have a problem or anything like that. But when you save it as a Movie Maker project, let me open it up so that you kind of get an idea. This right here where it says My Movie, if you look over there it says Windows Live Movie Maker project. And that's just your project file. And so that's only going to open on a computer that has Windows Movie Maker, and it's only going to play on a computer that has Windows Movie Maker. When you get done and you don't even need to make any more changes, and you're ready to be completely done, then you'll need to save it in a different format so that you can either upload it to YouTube or put it on a jump drive and play it on another computer. And the way that you would do that, there's two ways. You can go back up here to the left and say Save Movie File. And it'll give you a few different options. It'll have recommended for this project, high definition display, everything like that. It's got this for email option, but don't be confused by that because with videos as long as y'all are going to be working on, it's probably not going to be able to save it small enough to where you can email it. So that's why you need a jump drive. You don't need to rely, sometimes with a Word document, you just email it to yourself instead of saving it somewhere. Video files are much bigger and they're not going to let you email it. So in this instance, you can just go to recommended for this project and just follow the process. And then you'll see where it says save as type, it says Windows Media video file. And that's just a WMV. And that's kind of a universal video format where it'll play on pretty much any computer. So we'll hit save like that. Sometimes the saving process takes a second. I might cancel this if it takes too long. But anyway, what it's doing is creating, like I said, that self-contained video file where project that is you do it as safe as it is. It's also got this option over here, upload to YouTube, where you can just click on that and it'll say, choose the resolution. And you can probably choose one of these smaller ones, but if you want to do the higher one, you can do that. Just keep in mind it's going to take longer. When you click on that, it'll bring up this login. And just don't be confused since it says sign in to Windows Live. You'll want to type in your YouTube information for that. And then you just sign in and upload from there. Just keep in mind that uploading can take a few minutes. So just be sure to plan ahead when you're doing that. This isn't the kind of thing where you want to wait till the day before or anything like that. You want to try and have it done to where you have plenty of time to plan for problems. All right. That's pretty much it. Does anybody have any other questions before we finish up? All right. Appreciate it. If y'all do have more questions or any more comments, I'm going to send your professor some more information and some links and stuff like that. And then if you need to stop by the media center, just to explain what the class you're in and what project you're working on, and somebody should be there to help you out. All right. Appreciate it.
Thank you.